Looks like a traffic jam. I haven't been here in a while, so it looks like a combo orientation flight. There is a frenzy going on. It's fairly warm right now with high humidity. It's August 4th. The weather, I think we're on the last leg of a flow. It's been a really short flow, so what I'm doing is I'm checking this colony's honey supers just to see if this one's filling up too. So this one's been really slow. This is the Lewis Lake Yard. The colonies at home, or the colony at home, that one there is drawing out honey frames decently. You can see a lot of drones there, so it looks like the drones are causing the obstruction. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to widen this entrance out. So I ended up just breaking it off, kind of annoying. So let's see how clustered they are inside. Okay, it looks like it is a full box of bees. Might have to add another box, but let's see how heavy this is. Nice. No, excuse the language. It's actually quite light. There's a bit of honey in there, but not much. Let's have a quick look. I'll pull this side frame out. So anyways, there'll be a lot of bees in this box. Let's do a tilt test. Overall, they're heavy enough. There's about I'd say 150 some pounds. So the box, they've got plenty of stores for winter. I'm just gonna do some feeding probably in a couple of weeks to start backfilling the brood nest. Let's see if there's any nectar in these frames. Yeah, nothing on this one. At least they've done a good job cleaning out these frames. I think, yeah, we haven't had much for warm weather, so probably no point adding another box at this point. The season's pretty much finished. A bit of nectar in there. This is a half decent frame. I'd have to test it there, but so one side has nectar. We'll just leave it on for another week. So not sure if you can see that, but if you look at it, I'd say the cells are about 2/3 to 75% full. I'm a bit paranoid now since my little bee sting reaction, so I didn't wear my boots. I just have my running shoes, so I'll just have to be careful. It's a nice sunny day out, so don't have to do too much, but there's a thunderstorm brewing in the distance there. So same here, frame of nectar. Hopefully they're depositing nectar, not eating it. And same with this side. This one here, it's about the same. This one's about half full. But there's two sides of it, which is good. I haven't seen any capped honey in this colony since the season started. So far, probably a couple of jars of honey here. And this usually produces the most honey for me, but it's just been that kind of year. This one's pretty light. And yeah, just partial cells filled. It's got a dandelion smell to it right now, so there might be a bloom, a dandelion somewhere, or some type of aster. Sometimes there's those swamp asters. So they've pretty much finished the pollen patty I added last week, which tells me as long as they're using it, this year's been a pollen patty year. This is a decent weight, but still just partial cells. Filled with honey. Again, partial, nothing capped. I don't want to shake them. I'll let them do what they're doing. So there's more than last time, which is good. But I'm hoping I find at least a couple of frames of partially capped, because I can give them another 2 weeks. But after that, we've had frost in July, so it's pretty much, this morning it looked like fall. Foggy, cold, cool morning, wet. Okay, so here's another one of those partials. It's nice honey. So again, 2/3 full. It's probably, I'd say it's, didn't bring my refractometer, but my gut feel would be it's probably close to humidity targets. And the good thing is the bottom boxes are full of honey. This overall colony is really heavy. So again, just partials and partials. Most of the fireweed's done here, so we're on our last legs. So probably the worst honey year, and probably a good since 2017. There's a nice one. Good. There's a few decent frames. Not going to be bumper crops, but at least I'm going to get. Ooh, this one looks dark. So it might just be the foundation in the background there, but yeah, this one here is almost ready for capping. So that's a good sign. Good. Partial filled. Still gonna extract it in a couple weeks. Yeah, center. Okay, so I've got one of these modified inner covers. Just gonna take this thing out. It's got a top entrance there, so it just to help with congestion, I'm gonna take this plastic thing off and I'll put it on top, just so I don't squish these bees. And considering how many bees were out front here, it'll just help them. Upper ventilate a bit. Okay, so that was just a quick honey check. Gotta go check the other yard. This one here, this is my resource colony. Yeah, no surprise. These little resource colonies, they're always hungry, which is good. So they consume the honey, hopefully produce wax. But the goal is to produce lots of baby bees, and that's the goal. So I did add 2 fresh frames on here, so I'm just actually, I can't help myself, I'm gonna go check those frames out. So they were drawn brood frames, and I moved them in the middle. If the queens visited that, so you can see they're eating these pollen patties voraciously. You can see their butts sticking out. So these are those 15% global patties. So I've never had issues. We don't have those hive beetles here, so we don't have to worry about it. And it's just insurance. It's if the bees can't find what they need, what it does is it just, this way I know that my winter bees, they'll at least get minimum nutrition of what they require. I use the same patties to trigger brood rearing, and my first generations are healthy and good, so I'm not too worried about them being deficient nutritionally. And just considering they're still bringing in some pollen, so hawkweed pollen and probably fireweed pollen, so they're still getting some natural stuff also. Here's an interesting sight. See that? That's bees enjoying their pollen patties. Almost don't want to disturb them. So let's just check one of the frames out. So what I did there, I actually did flip this frame. So the other side is partially drawn, hoping they would do something on this side, and you can see they haven't really touched it. So that's been my experience, is if they haven't drawn out wax, then they won't. So I'm just actually gonna put this side in, and not before I check those new frames that I put in. I haven't decided if I'll try to winter this stacked like this. I may just try it because there'll be 2 colonies on either side to provide them with a nice thermal buffer. A couple of queen cells in the bottom there. Let's see. Full of larvae. Really young larvae. There's the queen. So it's good. I thought she was marked, but I can't remember. Oh no, this is an old queen. She's almost 4 years old, this queen. So it's one reason I don't get rid of queens. Okay, this is the frame I want to check. It's a new one, and we'll see if she's been on it. Okay, carefully. Don't want to roll the queen. It's actually quite heavy. Looks like they may be using it for honey, but no. It looks like it's full of eggs. Full of eggs. And full of eggs. So I haven't seen eggs in a while because it's always cloudy when I come. So not sure if you can see there, but frame's full of eggs, which is fantabulous. Okay, so let's close them up. Queen's on this frame, so hopefully she's not anywhere. She can get squished. Just pull it up to make sure. Queen on top here, so just that. Not too worried about swarming or stuff like that. So this one and I'll slide it in. So a lot of young bees hanging out on that got out for here. But it is what it is. Okay. Close it up. Put that patty on. I'll put it on the side here. So the bees don't get all squished. Through here. Well, the other thing that happened in this field here is they actually hayed it probably a couple weeks ago. So all the native wildflowers growing in the hay got chopped. Still some hay down there. I think they're just gonna do it in a couple patches, but there's probably not much left in the hayfield here. And there's a bit of kept honey here, not much. Queen's not on there. I'll put it in the sun. You can see how it's a darkish honey, dark cappings, which is typical here. So there's probably some honeydew in there. We'll check one more, just to see how they're doing, if they're actually expanding or have they reached their. There we go. Some more. This one doesn't have an excluder on, so I just have to make sure the queen's not up there. See what happens when you rush. You drop your hive tool. Okay, so what, that's 2 frames. There's a decent one. Hopefully they get to finish this off. Like I said, I'll leave it on for another week. And I'll do my extracting next weekend. And that's about it.